Okay, so anyway, you are having already aware of the like a GRC 5.3, how it works and this how it works, right? So I'm not going too much in detail about those stuff and all this stuff. I'll just take you through the brief idea. Then afterwards, I will try to explain you the how the GRC 10 things will work and what are the subcomponents that are available in GRC suite. All those stuff I will take you through.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
so,
sure, you can consider I'm like out of 1 to 10, you can consider 3 in GRC. So it's been a while I have done GRC.
no problem, no problem,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
Whatever things were required, definitely I will try to share with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in the current market, so simply you can say like there are so many different compliance tools are available, right? So one is a GRC and another one is Approva, and there are so many different compliance tools are there. Why we are using GRC means obviously. So this is SAP's proprietary product. Obviously we are using this one. Previously this was the third-party tool, but once this tool was Virsa was acquired by SAP, and they renamed it to the GRC. Okay, and once they have renamed GRC, right, and they have started releasing their own versions. Okay, previously Versa is having their own versions, and they renamed it and they come up with the different features and all those stuff. So they are calling as a GRC. Good. So why we need to use this GRC tool? Okay, what is the main reason to use this GRC tool and everything? Okay, it's a simply simple stuff. Why we need to use means because to identify the risks. To identify the risks. Okay, so what exactly risk it is? Okay, so anything. So in a generic terms, in a layman terms, we can say any kind of a fraud, any kind of a physical theft, any kind of the data damage, all those things can cause a risk. Okay, so for example, you are an employee of the one of the organization and you're trying to physically thefting, so if you're trying to theft the one of the any of the laptop or something, just like the, in generic example, that is a risk to the organization. Okay, example 1 and example 2. Okay, data wise. Okay, so now coming to the SAP side, I'm just taking the one normal example, then you'll get a more understand why we need to use this one. Okay, so there are two different persons are there in SAP. Okay, one guy is from the finance account payable side, and another guy is from the base administration perspective. Good. So both these guys are having the access to the SAP system, and unfortunately, both the guys are having the huge access. Okay, that information. So finance guy does not know what exactly he is having, what kind of access he is having, and all the stuff. But so he is doing his own job and all those stuff. On fine day, he is facing some issue in finance side, and he is trying to do some activity. So because of his changes and everything, unintendedly he has logged into the one transaction code, and he has done some modification. Because of his modification, okay, because of his modification, if we lose any kind of data, then what is it? What is these things? This is obviously a risk to the organization, right? Ultimately, who is going to be person facing this problem? So customer is the person who is going to suffering this one. Maybe as an employee, you can say, so this was happened or something, but ultimately customer is going to face a problem. So in this situation, how the risk was happened, but he has not intentionally done that one. Unintendedly, he made some changes in the system, and because of the consequences and everything, he doesn't know, and simply he is facing a problem, as well as the customer is also facing a problem. Okay, this kind of things we can call it as a unintended risk. Unintended risk. Okay, and case 2. There is another person is there, administrator. He know all the things and consequences. If he done some modifications, what will be happen, all the stuff. So intendedly, he has logged into some of the critical transaction codes, and he has performed. He has done that activity. Because of that activity, if you are going to losing some clients, some data and all those stuff, okay, so ultimately it is a risk to the organization. So in the second case, it was done purely intendedly. Okay, it's purely done internally. So both these things, both these cases, so what has happened, whether it is unintended or unintended, ultimately, so it is a major risk to the threat to the organization. Okay, there is a chance for the data loss. Why the situation has happened? Why this kind of situation has happened? Because of the excessive access. Because of the excessive access. So in both the cases, users are having the excessive access in the production environment. That's the reason that leading to the vulnerability to the organization data loss wise. So this is the main point. So what kind of excessive access? Obviously, a critical access to the user's perspective. Critical access or critical T codes are major like a violation, violation kind of stuff, violation kind of access users are having. That is the reason they are able to execute some kind of transaction codes, and it's creating a problem. Okay, so how do we identify this kind of critical access? Yes, so users are having the access and everything. As a security consultant wise, whatever the inputs which we are receiving from the customer side, from the business process side, so we are going to creating a role and we are assigning the roles to the user ID. Here we are not worried about the where is the leverage, all those things, and we simply creating and simply assigning these roles to the users, and we not know how these things are happening and all those stuff. Yes, how can we identify where exactly the risk is happening and where exactly the leakage is happening and all those stuff? We can able to go and we can able to identify by using this GRC system. By using this GRC system, we can able to identify. How can we identify? Yes, by running the risk analysis at user level and role level. So there are other levels also there. At present, I'm just concentrating on these two, user level and role level. Maybe you can run a US canals at the user level or role level, so we can able to identify whether these roles are user having any critical T codes or not. Good. So how these things were happening over here? Based upon the SOD rules, GRC system is going to identify the risk. What exactly this SOD rules calling? SOD rules are nothing but a segregation of the duties. So, for example, if you are an account receivable clerk, and there is one more person is there, account receivable manager. So, account receivable manager means that guy is dedicated to perform certain activities, and if you are an account receivable clerk and you are also dedicated to perform certain activities, so your designation wise you are a clerk, but you are having access to the, so whatever account receivable manager can do all those stuff, then that is a violation. That means you are a clerk and you are supposed to perform the clerk relevant activities only, and the manager having additional access compared to the clerk. So if one person is having the both kind of critical accesses, obviously it is leading to a risk. Okay, so how these things will happen? By using SOD rules, SAP is going to identify this one. Okay, apart from this one, so how this SOD rules was designed? How the SOD rules designed means, so basically it is going to depending on the SOX policies, SOX rules. Okay, these SOX rules are mainly delivered for US purpose, and each country is having the individual SOX policies and everything. If you take Japan is having the like a JSOX. If you take European region things, mainly France, Germany and all those countries, Europe-based countries, so they are following the DPLs, data protection laws. Okay, so in India also we are having a different classes like a class 49, and Australia and New Zealand, they are also having the SOX, and they are modified their own country specific laws and all those accordingly. So each country is having their own SOX policies and everything. By consolidating all these policies and everything, SAP has come up with their own rules. Those rules are SOD rules. By using these SOD rules, GRC system is going to identifying the risks. Okay, got a clarity, right, Ishwar?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Shiva, that's clear. Yeah.
Okay, good. So now here I'm going to take me as an example of the one of the business process. Okay, then you'll get a more clarity what exact things were happening over here and everything. So in a business process wise, it's basically helping for us to classifying your business based upon your functional area. To classifying your business based upon your functional area. Okay, so in SAP, in GRC, basically we are having the various business processes are there. Like it simply say finance. Okay, finance is one business process, and O2C, nothing but a order to cash, all the sales relevant activities, and another one is the P2P, procure to pay, on all the procurement relevant activities, material management activities. Okay, and there are HR activities are there. So different CR consolidation, different business processes are there. So in this example, I'm just taking example of the you can take it as a O2C or order to cash. We'll have a more clarity. So I'm just taking as a procure to pay example. So here maybe you might have in a work experience, you might have worked on the SRM side, then you will have a much more clarity. Do you have any exposure on the SRM side, Ishwar?
Yeah, Shiva. I worked on it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So here I'm just going to take that part only. So basically in the procurement side, so just simple example, you are an employee of the one of the MNC. Okay, good. So here what you are going to do, you are like every day you are going to deal with your work and everything. So and like from next week onwards, so you customer has received one project and you are supposed to deliver that project. And for delivering that project, you need 10 different laptops, because 10 more people are going to join this project and everybody need a different laptop. Then what you are going to do, simply you will log into your own company specific sites and all those stuff, procurement sites. There you are trying to raising one purchase request. Okay, so afterwards the procurement team will create a purchase order. Okay, and afterwards it will go to your manager for your approval, for his approval. Once manager has approved, it will goes to the buyer, okay, or procurer, whatever it is. So what exactly this guy will do, this guy will validate the requirement, and if it is okay to us, then he'll simply check with the warehouse team whether the relevant goods are available or not. If yes, then what he will do, he will simply approve that one. So based upon that, so the warehouse team will call you and will send a message mail to you. Based upon that, you can go and you can able to collect the goods from the warehouse team. So this is the situation 1. And case 2, if the relevant goods are not available in the warehouse team, what exactly he is going to do? So he will inform the vendor management team for getting the quotations from the third party vendors and all the stuff. So now immediately vendor management team will go and will give you quotations and will check with the third party vendors, and once these things are received, so these teams will submit to the buyer team. Buyer will validate it, okay, whether which one is the best suited to our organization. And here different persons are there, like an operational buyer and a strategic buyer. Those are the different things were there. We are not much into the that area, whatever it is, whether it is operational or strategic, no problem. So once the buyer is happy, right, with their quotation, goods and everything, then he will give a go ahead. So based upon that, then from the vendor management team, somebody will go and will raise a request. For what? For goods. Okay. Once the goods as request as received by vendor, and he will check that one, and he will submit the relevant goods. Once the goods as received, right, somebody from our organization, they need to receive the goods. Okay. Once the goods are received, right, then the warehouse team will maintain it, and afterwards this same information will be conveyed to you. Okay. So once it is conveyed, so then immediately you will go and you will collect the goods. But in the back end, so once the goods are received, obviously your customer, your company has to pay the money to the third party vendor. So how these guys will do? So obviously whenever the goods has raised rate, immediately based upon the cost and everything, based upon MRP and all those stuff, immediately account payable team, finance team will get activated. So here finance team is also involved in this business process. So immediately account payable team, just for example, will get a clarity. So team clerk team, account payable clerk team, they will create a invoice. So once the invoice gets created, right, so next from this finance side, so credit control owner or basically credit control owner guys, so they will go and they will validate that invoice. Once this invoices gets validated, right, so then it will somebody from the account payable side, account payable processor. Okay, so what this guy will do, this guy release the cash. Okay, so this is what happened over here. So this entire procedure, the procedure is going to starting with the procurement, and it is going to ending with the payment. Whatever the item we are trying to procure from third party vendor, right, once we receive the item, we will pay the amount to that person. So it is during this entire procedure, so this is this entire procurement business process. So where exactly the risk is happening, what are the risk causing things who are involved over here? Okay, it's pretty simple. So in the first example, first area, the person who is raising the purchase order, the person who is creating the purchase order, that person should never have access to validate that purchase order. Okay, that is the risk one. If the person is having access to creating a PO, and that person should never have access to approve that PO. Simple thing. Who is having access to create? Then same person should never have access to change same thing. Okay, anything, whether it is purchase order or sales order or material master or any entry, the person who is having access to create, that person should never have access to change. Okay, and second example, the person who is having access to raising a request, and that person should never have access to receive the goods. Okay, and another example, the person who is having access to create a something, and that person should never have access to validate. Okay, getting the concept right? The person who is having access to create, the same person should never have access to change. The person having access to create, the person should never have access to validate. The person who is having access to create, that person should never receive the button. Who is raising and should not receive. Such kind of things. First case, the person who is raising the purchase order, the same person should never have access to approve that one, validate that one. Okay, so here this has happened. The original requirement is only 10 laptops, and you are raising a request for the 20 additional laptops. Okay, and you are the person is going to approve that one. You're simply going, you're simply approving it based upon the requirement, and buyer can go, okay, so this project is coming, right? So then he will think it, so here's the project requirement and everything. He'll simply approve, the buyer also approved. So if the goods is available, then it will come to your project area. So where is the additional 10 laptops? So the 10 laptops you can keep it with you, and you can physically damage, or you can carry those laptops to your home, and you can use it on personally. Okay, so this just for example wise. So here there is a misuse of the 10 laptops. So this is the case one. In the automation, this kind of situations like was so many things were happening for different things and everything. So if this situation was happening again and again, your company is simply going for the debits. And second example, in the same business process, the person who is having access to raising the request for goods. Okay, so the same person should never go and should never collect the goods. So that guy we are calling in SRM as a goods recipient. Okay, so if that is how things were happening, yes, there is a lot of problems were there. Why? Because generally from the vendor management team, this goods request was raised. Okay, and the goods collection generally will be taken care by the warehouse team. So if this is happen, and warehouse manager definitely know how many goods was raised and how many goods was the requirement was there and everything. So here also same example. So here the original requirement is for 10 laptops, and he can go and he can simply raise for the 100 laptops. And he is the person who is going to collect in the goods, and 10 laptops he will collect it, and additional 90 laptops, so he will keep it into his own account. Gone. 90 laptops are gone. So maybe invoice wise and everything he can send it. So, but the original maintenance of the warehousing and all those stuff, he won't maintain all these things. So here is the risk is there. The person who is having the raising the request, and the same person should never have access to receiving the goods. Okay. And another example, the person who is having access to creating invoice, right? The same person should never validate, should never have access to validate or change or anything. So that kind of thing if is there, then definitely it is leading to the risk. So in all the cases, if any of these critical access, so each activity we are going to perform by using the transaction codes. So if they are having the critical access and all those stuff, then definitely so it is causing a violation. So simply say in invoice wise, so you are supposed to raise invoice for the $1,000, and you simply put a 10 on right hand side. It's a $10,000. Okay, the original requirement payment is a 1,000 only, but you are raising invoice for the 10,000. Where is the 9,000? So those 9,000s are going to the in your pocket. So this kind of invoice in a month, every time you are going to raise 100 plus invoice. You are the only one guy who is working from the one of the person area. So one area. So there, if you are raising, if you are doing such kind of thing, so this also same kind of things were happening in our organization. So if this kind of situation happened like a 1 year, something 1.5 year, definitely your company gone for the bankruptcy. Okay, there are a lot of fraud was happening out there. So this is the thing for here. So if you are using CCRC, then definitely we can go and we are going to identifying the risk where exactly things were happening over here and everything. Okay, so now let's go and see. So this is the basic stuff and all the stuff. Once we identify the risk, okay, by using GRC, right, by running the risk analysis, okay, once we identify it, so here we are having the two different concepts like remediation and mitigation. So basically, remediation means we are removing the risk from the users or roles. How can we remove the risk? Simple example. Here only, raising the request for goods and receiving the goods. So here these things are happening.
Hello. Hello, Shiva. Hello. Hello. Session disconnecting. Session disconnecting. After వాళ్ళకి
Hello, Ishwar?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
So, yes, so suddenly the connection disconnected. That's I'm just talking
Yeah.
about Apple stuff and another thing is respond. That's the reason I'm calling your name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking like.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
from
problem.
yeah.
Did you miss something?
Actually, until the mitigation, remediation mitigation, that's what I heard. Later, I got disconnected. So,
Oh, okay, okay, no problem.
yeah. I
So
mean,
what
there
I
is a
have
not
explained.
no chat room also. So there is no chat room also to bug. So,
So here nothing was enabled.
yeah.
Okay, no problem. So what I'm trying to explain is it. So mainly I'm trying to explain the GRC suite. In GRC suite, what are the subcomponents are there? So in GRC suite, like basically access control, process control, risk management, GTS, and NFE. All the 5 components were there. So access control is the one currently which we are going to learning. So it is mainly this tool is delivered for the data security level and object level and minute level. We can go and we can able to restrict the security. Okay, and the process control and other components are not mainly focusing for security area, that their target approaches for difference, and process control is mainly delivered for the to streamline the financial process. Okay, to streamline the financial processor. Basically here FICO and treasury consultants mainly work over there because they will define the organizational financial process and all those stuff. So just for simple example, so if you are traveling from one location to other location within US, so this is a company's work. Because of the company work you are traveling, and after completing your traveling, what exactly you are trying to do? You are trying to compare. You are trying to claiming your all your expenses. So your expenses will be reimbursed by the organization. So for reimbursing your expenses and everything, so your company is going, he has prepared some one policy, financial policy and everything, one process. Okay, if you are trying to traveling from here to there, then this is the kind of expense reimbursement you can go and you are eligible to reimburse, and all such kind of facilities they are going to do. Who will design these things? Treasury consultants will design these things. So by using process control, they are going to define these all the financial process and all those stuff. Yes, security work is also over here, but it's a very little tiny scope for us, but mainly for the finance consultants. And risk management is also there. So risk management is mainly talks about the organizational level risk, not only data security level. So just to give an example, so if you are working with the customer, like basic risk management mainly used for the banking and retail industries. So retail industry, I'll just try to give an example. Okay, Walmart is there. So Walmart is also using the SAP. Just for example, uh, in our case, so the mainly end users like the cashiers and who is the person going to working in this Walmart group, right? The persons are supposed to work between 10 a.m. to evening 9 p.m. right? Because the entire store is going to be work in between morning 10 a.m. to night night 9 p.m. So this is the major work. So during this period you are supposed to log in and you are supposed to work. If any of the person is logged at the 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. that's there at that time, we need to suspicious about that guy. Why that guy has logged at this so and so different time. So the same case, if you think as per the access control perspective, access control will not bothered about. So only bothered about those things is whether this guy is having X or not, whether it is guy is having risks or not. But risk management thinks about the why this guy has logged at this suspicious time, and what exactly, how can we control it, how can we restrict it. So that the mainly things about organization perspective, mainly risk management will concentrate, and access control will mainly concentrate on the data level. So and GTS and NFE is there. GTS is mainly delivered for the, so to trading if your companies start operations in any of the other country. Okay, so there like before starting their operations, these guys has to know their local trade rules and trade policies and financial policies, all those things they know. Based upon the taxes and everything, these guys will fix their MRP cost and all the production cost and all those stuff. So these things will be happening through GTS. So, and NFE is mainly delivered for the Brazil country to invoice the automator. So what in Brazil, whatever the invoice which was raised by the major organizations, right, they have to send this invoice detail to the government authorities on an immediate basis. So this is the situation has happened over there in Brazil. But to meet their requirements, whatever the invoice which was raised by the SAP, by using NFE, they can able to forward to the government authority systems. So this is what happening over here. These are the 5 different components are there. And now we are going to concentrating on the access control component. So in access control also, we are having the four different components are there. Those are access risk analysis, access request management, okay, access risk analysis, access request management, emergency access management, business role management. So these are the 4 different components are there. So these are the 4 different components are there. Each component is having a different feature. The first one, access risk analysis. So by using the first component, we are going to identifying the risks. So how can we identify the risk? By running the risk analysis. Afterwards, once the risk is identified, so we can go and we can deal with the remediation and mitigation way. Okay, so this is the access risk analysis. And the access request management means it will automate the all user administration activities. Okay, so what are the possible user administration activities? Like a user creation, modification, that means assigning the roles and deassigning the roles, user locking, unlocking, password reset, all the kind of activities we can go and we can able to automate by using the ARM. So how this is possible? By using this here in ARM, we are having the various concepts like MSMP, multi-stage, multi-path concept is also introduced over here. So compared to 5.3, this is entirely different. Okay, 5.3 we are the same thing called as a compliant user provisioning. There compared to 5.3, it's entirely different 10 because the new concept has introduced. And along with that, so BRF plus also involved over here. Okay, so BRF plus is mainly helping for us to define the business rules. Okay, so conditions and all those things we can able to insert over here. So in ARM we mainly concentrating on the MSMP and BRF plus, and there is a third component is there, emergency access. So why emergency access is required? So if a user is there, if a user wants to perform additional activities which is other than his job roles, obviously he would require additional access. So that additional access, how we are going to provide it to the user? Through a separate ID. That ID we are calling as a firefighter ID. That ID we can go and we can able to assign to the existing end user. So that kind of mechanism, managing the mechanism and assigning these additional firefighter IDs and validity period and all those stuff we can manage through EM, emergency access management component. And the last component is the BRM, business role management. In a business role management is mainly this tool delivered for to automate the all role administration activities. So like a role creation, role modification, all those stuff. So these are the 4 different components are there. So these 4 components are the sub-components of the access control. So these are the basic technical stuff which we are going to discussing. So during our course we are going to concentrating on all the configuration activities. Okay, once the basis consultant has handovers the system to us, right? So what are the things we need to do, like a post INST steps. Okay, then afterwards, so component specific configurations. Okay, so if you take ARA, so we need to perform the various steps, configurations, SPRO configuration steps we need to perform, and ARM, BRM, EM, all the components are having the individual configurations are there. So all the configurations we are going to perform, and if you are trying to build in this project, what are the things were required and all those stuff step by step we are going to discussing everything. And once these things are done, right, so if you are in a support and what kind of activities you generally receive in a support project. So okay, this is the one thing which we are going to covering. And additionally, if any problem is occurring, how can we, where we are going to check the log and how can we troubleshoot the issues. Troubleshooting, all the stuff we are going to discussing. So okay, so this is these are the major areas and then we are going to focusing on your course. Okay, so that's it from my end. This is a basic idea and how these things are working and what exactly we are going to cover in our course. So this is a brief idea from my end. So you can ask a question if you are having any.
Yeah, Shiva, that's really good introduction. So, Shiva, I mean, anyway, you said like the post instances configuration, like I don't know if the system is already pre-configured or we are going through, how does it work? Like we are going to configure the system or it's already pre-configured and we are going to
No, we are going to configure the system. Simple thing, I'll try to give an idea. See, so GRC is a tool. Okay, so how we are going to get in this tool? It works on the SAP NetWeaver, first funda. So for getting this product, we are going to install in the additional add-ons. Okay, so once the add-on is installed, right, yes, we need to perform the additional configurations, whatever things were required for us. We might not use all the things in whatever SAP is rested. So whatever things were required, right, we will go and we will configure as per our requirement. So this is what. Clear, right?
Yeah. And at the same time, like I mean, you said like we are going through the MSMP also, right? Like a couple of
yes, MSMP. So workflow wise, access request wise, how we are going to do, and if it is firefighter, and how we are going to do all those stuff.
Actually, in our company, we are planning to do like a dual MSMP. Like one is like regular initiator, and then one is like firefighter initiator. Like we are trying to go with two things for now.
Okay.
That is one thing. And
no problem.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So basically, your company wants to implement what are the components?
Actually, we are only going with AC only, access control only, and pretty much what I use. Like, I mean, BRM, I'm not recommending BRM for the company, but my main concept is ARA, ARM, and EAM. These are the three things I want to focus on.
Mostly, I do agree, sure. So most of the companies, they will go with these things only. BRM or even 5.3 ERM. So nobody won't prefer to go because everybody is full-fledged tool is there, PFC is there. So everybody will use, and it's a kind of additional activity.
Yeah, and the thing is like we haven't received any GRC systems right now. So before we receive the system and do add on, like I want to be trained myself and I should be able to configure. I want to do a POC for the senior management before doing anything. So that's why I'm really want to be more technical. Like I want to create some workflows. I want to create something. I have to show the business like this how it works. So that's what mostly I want more into technical. I want to do my own hands-on, and I want you to show me more into hands-on and all those.
No problem. No problem. Okay, not an issue.
Yeah. And Shiva, I don't know like how comfortable you're. Like I mean, I saw their email and it shows like 35 days training, something like that. So how does it work? Like,
okay. So it's not exactly the 45 days. I think they put a generic days. Basically, the training will be mostly into the will cost mostly 15 to 20 hours. So like within 18 to 17 to 18 hours. So we can able to cover all these required things. Mostly max to max within 20 hours we can able to finish this GRC. Okay, access control. So. And during this course, we are going to showing all those things practically and how these things were happening and how we can able to perform the risk analysis and how we can able to configure the rule sets and modifying the functions and risks and all those stuff. So no problem for that perspective.
And like you want to prefer the same time, like 70 the same time you want to prefer, like I'm okay with this time, so I don't know if you're how comfortable you are with this time. So.
Okay.
I mean,
so if it is India evening 8:30 means at what time it will be your time, California time?
It's 6:30 for me, but I have a whole day. I mean, my meeting starts at 6 o'clock, so usually I'm pretty late. So, so that's one.
So early.
Yeah, I mean, I have my offshore team in Chennai, so that is one thing.
Okay. That's the major problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, I'm working from evening anytime after 5 p.m. PST. I mean, I don't know, like from all of late night also I'm okay. Like if you're comfortable at 10 o'clock, 8, 10 a.m. or something like that. I mean, I'm okay with 9 a.m. your time or 8 a.m. whatever comfortable.
Oh, okay. That's great. Then in that case, so we can able to put um, 9 morning or India time IST. I'm talking about 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We can able to put it.
Yeah, that works for me. That's not a problem for me. Like 9 is like 10:30 p.m. So I can. That's not a problem for me. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like it's 1 hour. Like if you want to close at the last time, then I'm okay. Like if it's a couple of hours you want to continue, I don't have any problem.
No problem. So based upon my availability, I will extend. Based upon my availability, I will extend. That's not a problem, sure. So mostly I prefer to take sessions on like 6 days a week. So if it is really urgent something, definitely I will extend the hours on Saturday, Sunday as well. But mostly I will take 6 days a week. Monday
Same
to
thing from my
Saturday.
car also. Like I don't know how it works. Sometimes like if I mean, I'll let you know ahead. So if something comes up, so
Definitely, if you are having any plan, something is happening, just give me a heads up, then we will plan accordingly. Once the sessions are started, right, then it won't be any problem. So
yes.
the initial like
So
of day one or day one, day two, but later on it will be everything fine. Yes, go ahead.
And this one, like they haven't mentioned, like these guys are going. I mean, you guys are going to give any training system for me to practice something like that.
Just a minute. Even these guys are like new vendors for me. Hello,
Oh,
Sneha, are you there? Sneha? Hello? Sneha, are you there? Hello? Sneha?
I think so. Anyway, I can check with them, like, and the material regarding the material and all those things.
Okay, no problem. Because this is also my first assignment with these vendors because I mainly works for the other vendors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I haven't heard about these guys. So that's something. So.
Okay. No problem. So you can check with
And
those guys.
at the same time,
Definitely,
yeah.
yes, so definitely they will help you maybe with the server access and all those things. Anyway, they will take it as an online access and you can use that online access for practice purpose and everything.
Yeah,
Same system, we will
for
use
sure.
it in the, in the classroom as well. So I will try to explain you all those stuff like how we need to use the server and what are the things we need to make sure. So definitely I will give an idea. Okay.
And at the same time, like even you said like you worked on 10.1, I just want to go through. I mean, in case like you are trying to upgrade also at the same time parallelly, so initially 10 and 10.1
No.
upgrade.
So I worked for the different project. Like one is the direct 10 implementation, and the other one is the 10.1 implementation. And the
Oh
10 to
no.
10.1 I have not worked, but I have worked for the migration wise. So
Okay.
involved in the various migration from the Versa 4.2 to 10.1 and GRC 5.3 to 10.1. Such kind of migrations I have worked. The
I
even
mean,
the 10.
initially, I don't need the upgrade thing. I just want to know like how the 10.1, the simple
So
users, whatever,
no,
like what are
so
the biggest.
okay. So don't think there is a much big difference between 10 and 10.1. Mostly same. Few features have added into 10.1. Like just if you're going through the system, right, then you'll get a clarity. Okay, so this is the things were happening in 10.1 and all those stuff. So
Oh,
technically, if you know this stuff right, then you won't face any, you won't feel any new thing as introduced over here and everything. So
got
just mostly similar, almost all how the things were happening and everything. Bit of the new features. For example, in 10 directly they have released the like if you wanted to generate a rules, directly they have introduced the generating rules, and afterwards uploading rules and downloading rules concept is there. And 10.1 they have introduced the one more concept like a downloading the specific rules and uploading the specific rules. So such kind of thing was introduced, but the concept is
yeah.
same. 10 and 10.1. So everything you can upload and download. But the 10.1, the latest feature is added. Okay, specific rules also you can upload. Specific rules also you can able to download. This is the latest feature. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So such kind of things were they have introduced, because whatever the problems they have faced in 10, right? All those things they have consolidated and they released their own new version is the 10.1. And second point is the 10.1 is mostly supposed to the HANA as well. This is a major advantage for 10.1. Here we can able to apply the additional plugins to specific to the BI, BO, and HANA and all the stuff. Previously 10.0 it won't support the HANA one, but in 10.1 it will support directly. It will support. If you wanted to work this HANA thing and everything, you might require to install additional support package. That's it. Even you can apply this there as well, but you need to increase your bandwidth of the support package and all those stuff. That's it.
Got it. Sure. Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
So once we start the session, right? So definitely I will share my email. You can contact with me directly. All those stuff. No problem. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know, like who is the person calling me, so I have to check with them. So anyway,
so just send a mail to them. So
yeah.
then they will revert back to you. I think Sneha. So I'm having her number.
I have something like yeah, you can give me like I have something she called like 232 something. So you can give me the you have something like different number. I can just
232. No, I don't have a 232 number. Some other number I'm having. Okay, so I'm having here also they have mentioned, and I think in the email. Just a minute.
93918
Something else. Yes. So here, yes, here they have specified here. USA number +1323.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you can check that one. So here you can find this mail. Got right?
Yeah.
+13233008993. Okay.
Yeah.
So this mail you can respond to her and you can contact with those guys. Okay.
So what's her name? Sneha.
Pardon me.
The person name is Sneha.
Sneha is coordinating from mine. Maybe from your end, I don't know who has contacted you. Just try to check with Sneha, somebody else. Then definitely they will help you.
Sure, that's great. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Fine, Ishwar. It's nice talking to you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.